What would happen if you forced 7 different ant colonies to live together? Would they build one giant supercolony or start the bloodiest ant war imaginable? Most ant keepers follow one golden rule: never mix different colonies. Every colony carries its own unique scent, an invisible passport that tells every ant, "You're one of us," or "You're the enemy." If that scent doesn't match, the result is usually a violent battle. For the past 67 days, I had been raising 7 young ant colonies. Inside each test tube lived a queen, a handful of worker ants, and the next generation waiting to hatch. Every queen had started her colony after a single mating flight, slowly building her own tiny kingdom from absolutely nothing. But there was one problem. Keeping 7 separate colonies forever wasn't practical. So I had a crazy idea. What if I combined them all? Some ant species are monogyne, meaning only one queen can rule the entire colony, and every rival queen must die. But other species are polygyne, where several queens peacefully share the same empire. If my ants belonged to that second group, this experiment could create something incredible, a single colony ruled by multiple queens. So the experiment began. One by one, I connected each colony to a shared arena. The first worker cautiously stepped outside. For the first time in her life, she explored a completely new world. She found sweet jelly, filled her stomach, and calmly returned home. Then I connected the second colony. Nothing happened. Then the third, the fourth, and the fifth. The silence became almost unsettling. Then everything changed. One tiny worker accidentally wandered straight into another colony's nest. Time seemed to stop. Workers quickly surrounded the stranger. This should have been the moment the war began. Instead, they gently touched her with their antennae, carefully checking her scent. Seconds felt like hours. Then, something completely unexpected happened. Instead of attacking, they shared food with her, a complete stranger. Moments later, the little explorer calmly walked back to her own colony without a single injury. So what did this experiment actually prove? Not complete peace, and not complete war. Instead, it revealed something far more fascinating, a fragile balance where 7 separate kingdoms might be taking their very first steps toward becoming one giant empire. Now the biggest decision isn't mine, it's yours. Should these colonies stay together and see if they build the world's next super colony, or should I separate them before everything falls apart? Because the future of this ant empire might depend on your decision.